Imagine one East Africa. Close your eyes for a second. Picture the vast savanna, the rolling hills, and the majestic mountains. Picture this. No more borders separating Kenya from Tanzania. Imagine the freedom of movement, the seamless travel. No more passports needed to travel from Uganda to Rwanda. Families and friends reuniting without the hassle of border checks. This is the dream of the East African Federation, one united nation rising in the heart of East Africa. A vision of unity and strength. It's a bold vision, right? A sunrise over a new era of cooperation and prosperity. Think of the European Union, but on the African continent. A union that brings together diverse cultures and economies. This isn't just some fantasy. It's a tangible goal, a dream that is slowly taking shape. Countries like Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, and even the Democratic Republic of Congo are talking about making it a reality. They see the potential. They see the future. One passport, one market, one strong voice on the world stage. It's ambitious, no doubt. But ambition is the first step towards success. But the potential benefits, they're huge, enormous even. We're talking about a land rich in resources, from fertile farmlands to oil and gas reserves. Resources that can fuel development and growth. With a population nearing 300 million people, the EAF would be a major player, a diverse and vibrant population. Imagine the innovation, the cultural exchange, the economic powerhouse this could become, a hub of trade and commerce. This is about more than just erasing lines on a map. It's about creating opportunities, fostering unity. It's about building a brighter future for East Africa and for the entire continent, a future where children from different cultures play together, learn together, and grow together. A future where education and knowledge know no boundaries, where students from different nations share ideas and dreams, where entrepreneurs collaborate, innovate, and drive the economy forward. A future of endless possibilities. A future where cultural festivals celebrate the rich heritage of the region, bringing people together in joy and harmony. This is the vision of one East Africa, a vision of unity, prosperity, and a shared future. Stronger together, the power of shared resources. Let's talk about what unites East Africa. These countries share more than just borders. They share history, cultures, and challenges. They face similar issues, poverty, drought, and political instability. But here's the thing, they also share incredible potential. Imagine the strength of a unified East Africa managing its resources together. Think about the Nile River, a lifeline for so many. With joint management, water scarcity becomes a thing of the past. Food security? Not a problem when you can freely trade agricultural goods across the region. And let's not forget about energy. East Africa has oil, natural gas, and massive potential for renewable energy. Pooling these resources and expertise, that's a game changer. Suddenly, you're not just talking about lighting up homes. You're talking about powering industries, creating jobs, and lifting millions out of poverty. Economic boom, a continent transformed. Let's talk money. The East African Federation could mean serious economic growth. We're talking about a single market with a common currency. Think of the ease of doing business, the reduced transaction costs, the increased investment. It's a recipe for an economic boom. Tourism, forget about it. From the Serengeti Plains to the slopes of Mount Kilimanjaro, East Africa is already a tourist hotspot. Now imagine traveling across these incredible landscapes without visa hassles or currency exchanges. Tourism could explode, creating jobs and boosting local economies. And here's the best part. This economic growth wouldn't be limited to East Africa. A stronger East Africa means a stronger Africa. It could become a hub for trade and investment, attracting businesses and creating opportunities across the continent. This is about lifting all of Africa, not just one region. The hard road. Can unity conquer division? Okay, let's be real. Creating a federation of this scale is no walk in the park. There are serious challenges, and we have to address them head-on. First up, the elephant in the room, political will. Are these countries truly ready to give up some of their sovereignty for the greater good? Then there's the issue of economic disparities. Some East African nations are more developed than others. How do you bridge that gap and ensure that everyone benefits from integration? It's a tough question with no easy answers. And let's not forget about the potential for conflict. East Africa has a history of ethnic tensions and political rivalries. Creating a federation won't magically erase these issues. In fact, it might even exacerbate them if not handled carefully. These are real concerns, and addressing them will require honesty, compromise, and a shared commitment to a better future. United we stand. The military question. Let's talk about defense. A unified East African Federation would boast a formidable military force. Combining the manpower and resources of these nations would create a military power in the region. Now some might say, hold up, Trevor, isn't that a bit scary? And yeah, it's a valid concern. A powerful military can be a force for good, promoting stability and deterring conflict. But it can also be a source of tension, especially if mismanaged or driven by nationalistic agendas. The key here is transparency and accountability. The EAF's military should be focused on regional security, peacekeeping, and humanitarian aid. It should be a force for good, protecting the people and promoting peace, not engaging in regional power struggles. It's a delicate balance, but it's one that the EAF needs to get right if it wants to gain the trust of its citizens and the international community. A seat at the table, East Africa's global role. Here's the thing, the world is changing. Rapidly evolving technologies, shifting political landscapes, and new economic realities are reshaping our global society. The days of Africa being told what to do are over. No longer will the continent be a passive player in global affairs. With the East African Federation, the continent has a chance to finally have a strong, unified voice on the global stage. This federation represents a new era of collaboration and strength. No more begging for a seat at the table. Instead, East Africa will be a key player, actively shaping the future. They'll be at the head of it, shaping global policies on trade, climate change, and security. Their influence will extend far beyond their borders. Imagine this, an African powerhouse negotiating trade deals with China, the US, and the European Union as equals. This is not a distant dream, but a tangible reality within reach. Think about the leverage they'd have to demand fair prices for their resources and better terms for their people. This would transform the economic landscape of the region. The EAF could become a leader in the fight against climate change, advocating for the needs of developing nations and pushing for real action from the biggest polluters. Their leadership could inspire global change. This is about more than just regional power. It's about changing the global power dynamic and ensuring that Africa's voice is heard loud and clear. It's about justice, equity, and a future where every nation has a say in our shared destiny. Lessons learned, the African Union and beyond. Now, the idea of African unity isn't new. The African Union has been around for a while with the goal of promoting cooperation and integration across the continent. But let's be honest, it hasn't always been smooth sailing. There have been setbacks, disagreements, and a fair share of challenges. But that's the thing about progress, right? It's rarely a straight line. The EAF can learn from the AU's experiences, both its successes and its failures. They can learn from the mistakes, strengthen the framework for cooperation, and build a more effective and unified federation. And it's not just the AU. Regional economic communities like ECOWAS in West Africa and SADC in Southern Africa offer valuable lessons. The EAF can draw inspiration from their successes, adapt their best practices, and avoid repeating their mistakes. This is about building on the work that's already been done and creating a truly united and prosperous Africa. A new dawn for Africa? The future of the EAF. The East African Federation, or EAF, is a bold vision that has captured the imagination of many. So, will this East African Federation actually happen? It's a question on everyone's mind, from politicians to everyday citizens. Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. The path to unity is fraught with challenges. There are huge obstacles to overcome, from political hurdles to economic disparities. The differences in governance, economic policies, and even cultural practices can be significant barriers. It's going to take a lot of hard work, compromise, and a shared vision for the future. Leaders and citizens alike will need to come together, setting aside differences for the greater good. But here's the thing. Even if the EAF doesn't come to fruition anytime soon, the very idea of it is a game changer. It represents hope and a new way of thinking about the future. It sparked a conversation, ignited imaginations, and planted the seed of unity in the hearts of millions. Young people, in particular, are energized by this vision. Whether it's next year or next decade, the dream of a united East Africa is alive and well. And who knows? This dream could be the catalyst for even greater change across the continent. Maybe, just maybe, this dream will inspire other African nations to follow suit. The ripple effect could be profound, leading to a more integrated and cooperative Africa. Imagine a future where the artificial borders of colonialism fade away, replaced by a united and prosperous Africa, taking its rightful place on the world stage. A continent where resources are shared, economies are strong, and people move freely. That's a future worth fighting for, wouldn't you say? A future where unity and collaboration pave the way for a brighter tomorrow for all Africans. The East African Federation is a bold vision, a gamble with high stakes. Will it be a catalyst for progress, or a recipe for disaster? The answer lies in the hands of the people and leaders of East Africa. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the East African Federation is a good idea? What are the biggest challenges and opportunities?